This is me and my wife, Andrea. We remodel homes together, and we tend to have a lot of fun doing it. Are you guys thinking what I'm thinking?
I don't have the legs for it.
Just over a year ago, I decided to pick up a camera and start filming our DIY adventures. And to our surprise, some very unexpected things happened.
We would like to talk to you about a TV show.
No way. And this is the crazy story of our first year on YouTube.
Our first peach.
Peach.
First one.
You might think this is where our story begins, here in our backyard where we started filming YouTube videos and eventually posted our first video back on February 21st, 2021. And that is where we started filming our first YouTube videos, but to find the beginning of the story, you actually have to go back another 10 years or so. In 2010, Andrea and I had been married a couple of years, we had just had our first daughter, and we had just moved into our first home together. And it was here in this double-wide manufactured home where Andrea and I both started pursuing our creative passions. I endeavored to start a music studio from our living room where I taught private music lessons and started recording and producing for some of my first clients. I was loving making a living at something I was truly passionate about, but I didn't make that much of a living, so I always had side jobs to help make ends meet.
Oh, hello. I'm just here cleaning out this filter basket, just getting all the hairballs and that kind of stuff out of there, and practicing my singing.
It was in the same season that Andrea was beginning to explore her creative passions for home design. First, she started with paint, then installing flooring in the whole house, then building a 2-tiered deck in the back of the house, and I'll never forget the day when she said, "Hey, I want to cut a hole in the back wall of our house to install French doors." But it didn't stop there. She single-handedly remodeled our kitchen, then remodeled our master bathroom. She even built a custom coffee table for our living room, which is still one of my favorite builds of hers to this day. Andrea made our first home look absolutely incredible, and it was here that I got my first taste of her true ability when it came to transforming spaces. When it came time to sell that home, we had a full price offer within hours of listing it, and we sold it for double what we paid for it. People commonly ask where Andrea learned her skills, and I think in part it was right here in this small house with little to no budget, but just a ton of creativity and hard work. After that, we moved into our second home where we both continued to work on our creative skills. We were able to turn a mother-in-law suite into my first official recording studio where I was able to open up group classes on songwriting and music production. Those classes quickly outgrew the size of the studio and we actually had to move into our living room for a while. Every class ended with a public performance of the songs they had written, and still to this day, those are some of my favorite memories in the studio. I also began teaching online that year and started the Songwriting Studio YouTube channel where I got my first taste of how to film and edit videos. To make this whole thing. In this second home, Andrea continued improving her home design skills by taking this outdated 1980s home, and I mean very outdated, and turning it into a complete showstopper. 2 years later, we were ready to put the house on the market. In the afternoon we listed it, there was a car sitting in our driveway waiting for us to open up the house, and they bought the house on the spot. So basically, we sold the house instantly. From there, we moved into our third home in the fall of 2018, and of course, Andrea started working her magic on this outdated 1960s fixer. Andrea had really honed her skills over the last 8 years, and it showed on this house because she made every space look absolutely gorgeous. I, on the other hand, was moving the recording studio out of our home and into an official office space. But of course, Andrea helped me design this space and make it look incredible for lessons and for YouTube filming. For the next couple of years, Andrea and I continued on in the same way, supporting each other's unique endeavors, but not really cross-pollinating. That all changed at the beginning of 2021.
You buckled, darling? Got precious cargo here.
For a few months, I had this tug in my heart that said, you should really pick up a camera and start filming Andrea's incredible transformation projects. I finally heeded that little tug, and I told Andrea that on January 1st, 2021, I was gonna start taking 2 days a week out of the studio to film her projects. She was flipping a lot of furniture at the time, and so I started in January by filming her flip 12 beautiful pieces of furniture. So after lots of filming and editing in the months of January and February, we finally published our first video on February 21st, 2021, and we decided to call the channel diywife because it just felt so fitting. When we launched the channel, I had a secret goal in my heart that somehow her channel would reach 1,000 subscribers in the first month. And that seemed like a very lofty goal because it took my studio's channel more than a year to reach its first 1,000 subscribers. Well, to my complete surprise, the diywife YouTube channel hit 1,000 subscribers in 9 days. In fact, in its first month, we had 5,500 subscribers. That's something that took the songwriting studio over 3 years to accomplish. We kept on like this for the next few months, and I remember Andrea asking me multiple times, "Are you sure you want to take time out of the studio to film my projects?" And I would simply reply, "Let's just try it for 3 months and see what happens." Little did I know something big was going to happen right after the 3-month mark, and I mean really big. We received an email from YouTube saying that diywife had been selected as their next creator on the rise. And a few days later, we were at the top of YouTube's trending page along with huge channels like Mr. Beast. In one day, we received over 2,500 new subscribers and over 90,000 views, which was basically unthinkable for a channel our size. So at 4 months in, we decided to give it another few months, and I actually began working more on filming and editing Andrea's projects than I was in the studio. The channel was growing and it was exciting, but we had some growing to do of our own. Andrea was still getting used to the idea of someone following her around with a camera, and I commonly had to ask her to slow down.
Hey, get back here, you're running away. Hey, what are you doing?
I'm not a very good YouTuber. I don't film things.
Did you film yourself in Lowe's like I asked?
I'm not a filmer and I'm not a social media person.
For me, I had to learn to film and edit this project that was always in motion. I was used to setting up a camera on a tripod and filming a talking headshot in a controlled environment, but this was something totally different. I also wanted to match Andrea's beautiful projects with beautiful cinematography that showed how truly incredible her projects were. But I only had a budget camera with no extra lenses and no fancy equipment, so that meant I had to get creative just like Andrea got creative. And so I came up with the highly professional fuzzy blanket technique. I couldn't afford a really expensive gimbal to get smooth motion shots, and so I ended up putting the tripod on a really fuzzy blanket and sliding it across our wood floor to get these beautiful motion shots. But I wasn't the only one growing creatively. Andrea was totally upping her game by creating a custom wood base for furniture pieces. She wasn't doing it for YouTube content, she just came up with this idea in our driveway one day and put it on a piece of furniture and it looked gorgeous. And so we kept putting it on pieces because it looked too good. I had Andrea do a tutorial video on how to make this custom wood base, And from there, it kind of snowballed, and it seemed like everyone within the furniture flipping niche on YouTube was making Andrea's custom wood base for their furniture pieces too.
We are going to be creating a base, and it is the DIY wife base.
I am following a tutorial by my friend Andrea here on YouTube. Her channel is DIY Wife.
I am attempting to do someone else's tutorial. I'm going to be tackling the DIY wife's furniture base. This is going crazy right now. Everybody is trying it out, and it's finally my turn.
With the channel growing and with us growing personally, we kept putting out videos each week, and one of those videos was our 1-month furniture flipping challenge, which was the first video we ever put out that kind of went viral. In this video, we documented the process of flipping and selling as many pieces of furniture as possible in 1 month, where we made over $4,000. It was quickly on track to become our first video ever to hit 1 million views. But then something even more crazy happened with this video. We received an email from someone saying they were a senior producer for the Rachel Ray Show, and they asked if they could share our 1-month furniture flipping story on the show. We of course said yes, and then just had to sit back and laugh when we turned on the TV and saw, well, ourselves.
So, when our next guest lost part of their income due to the pandemic, of course, they challenged themselves to flip and sell as much furniture as they could. Let's check out how they made this happen.
So how did it feel to see your face on Rachel Ray?
So with a few more months under our belt, we decided this channel was definitely worth doing, because not only was the channel doing well, but we were also enjoying getting to work together and to combine our creative abilities into one vision. And at 6 months in, the channel had surpassed 50,000 subscribers and over 2 million total channel views. But over the next few months, there were more surprises to come. With the growth of the channel in the previous few months, it gave us the courage to step beyond furniture flipping and into Andrea's real passion, which is home design. We started with a bathroom renovation, and true to form, things got really wild. Andrea built something incredible, and the design turned out gorgeous. Projects like this were the very reason I had picked up a camera 6 months before this, and it was so exciting to share our first home renovation project on YouTube. The video was warmly received by our audience, and it showed us they were not only ready, they were eager to see more of what Andrea could do within home design. We followed up the bathroom makeover with a bedroom makeover, which Andrea knocked out of the park. Again, the video was warmly received, and Andrea started getting really excited about being able to make content around her passion of interior makeovers. So then we did a project that Andrea had been dreaming about for years, and it marked one of her most industrious projects to date. She designed and built a beautiful fireplace from scratch. The fireplace turned out beautifully. It was a dream come true for Andrea, and it was again warmly received by our audience, which gave us the confidence to take more and more steps into Andrea's bread and butter, home design. It had now been about 8 months since posting our first video, and with the growth of the channel, I had a big decision to make. It had become way too much to try and run the music studio and do production for DIY Wife at the same time. So in the fall of 2021, I made the decision to shut down the studio and pursue DIY Wife full time.
So kind of a bittersweet day here today. I'm actually packing up my recording studio office as it is time to move on. Goodbye studio. It's been real, but it's time to go do some more house projects with DIY Wife.
So with our full focus set on DIY Wife, we continued making videos that were doing really well, and the channel continued to grow. And only 9.5 months after publishing our first video, the DIY Wife channel hit 100,000 subscribers. A few weeks later, our silver play button showed up in the mail, and all we could do was laugh.
Well, there she is.
We are thrilled to see the development of your community and are proud to honor your impressive milestone of reaching 100,000 subscribers with the Silver Creator Award. Congratulations!
But despite all of the growth and progress, this is actually where it started to get really hard. Even with me going full-time into DIY Wife, the filming and editing still took 2 to 3 times longer than the actual projects themselves. Shortly after hitting 100,000 subscribers, I started having regular, debilitating migraines. We tried every possible solution we could find, including getting some really expensive prescription glasses.
You look like Clark Kent.
But unfortunately, nothing we tried worked even a little bit. And it brought us to a breaking point because we knew we couldn't keep moving forward in the same way unless something changed. So after a lot of thinking and praying, we ended up connecting with someone local who we hired to help take a lot of the editing off of my plate. Grant joined our team halfway through the fall, and week after week, he started taking more and more of the editing load. And magically or miraculously, my migraines went away completely. And in the end, it really turned around to be a blessing in disguise because I went from editing 3 days a week and sometimes a couple nights a week to basically 1 day a week of fine-tuned editing. And this proved to be pivotal because in the next few months, there were even more surprises to come, and they required that I be on the job site more with Andrea. The first big thing that came up was, well, the biggest project we've ever done. We kind of got this wild idea of what if we surprised our friends by transforming all of the main living spaces in their house. This project marked the biggest series that we had ever put on YouTube, as it was a whole house transformation and not just a single room transformation. But more than the scale of the project, it was one of the most moving and meaningful projects we'd ever gotten to be a part of.
Okay, open your eyes. What? That's why I was like, don't play intersectional.
Is gorgeous.
Do you know how long I've had to keep this secret?
This is gorgeous.
Okay, maybe I do shock well.
This is so sweet. It's beautiful.
Oh my
God. Did it. Oh, did it. Man.
I think
this is amazing. This is amazing. Oh, yeah. Dean and Andrea. Y'all work some magic, man. Excitement. Thank you, God. Thank you, Dean and Andrea. Oh, man. Come on, Dean. Come on. Come on.
And so as this project concluded, we thought our minds were fully blown until we received a phone call that blew our minds even more.
Hey, Dean and Andrea. This is from TV. My team and I have been watching some of your videos, and we would like to talk to you about a TV show.
Andrea and I had to just look at each other and go, wait, is this for real? It was for real, and she explained that their network had a new initiative in 2022 where they were aiming to bring online creators into the TV space. So at this point, we know a lot of you who are our faithful followers have a lot more questions about this TV network deal, but for now, we're gonna keep those details under wraps until the contract is fully finished. But just know for now, we're gonna continue making and publishing YouTube videos as normal for the foreseeable future. But we have to laugh and give a shout out to the many of you who have said, these guys need their own show. And so after a whirlwind 12 months, we ended the year with 135,000 subscribers and over 8 million channel views. To think about those numbers is a little bit mind-boggling because 135,000 people is almost double the population of the city that we live in. So I wanted to wrap this whole thing up by asking the question, why are we sharing this story? Well, first, we hope this inspires even just a few of you to take your God-given abilities and to work hard on them for the next several years and see where it takes you. It doesn't usually require a lot of money, it just requires a lot of hard work and creativity. Remember our first house that Andrea remodeled? We had basically no budget and she did all of the work herself, but she made it look incredible and she gained so many skills along the way. Or remember how I was able to use a budget camera, a fuzzy blanket, and iMovie to create videos that would not only garner millions of views, but they would also be featured on daytime television and get the attention of a TV network. But even more than inspiring a few of you with this video, most of all, we want to say thank you to all of you who have supported us along the way. We're pretty confident that we've got to have some of the most supportive and most encouraging followers on YouTube. You guys are constantly spurring us on and encouraging us with comments like, I loved watching your video. I was inspired by that project. I've been inspired by y'all's marriage. And that means a lot to us. And it's a way that you guys actually inspire us. So here's a big cheers to all of you who are a part of the DIYY family. And let's just see where the next year takes us. Cheers. You are on Rachel Ray today.
Let's get on the road again.
Oh, babe.
Well, I guess we'll put this in a drawer in our closet, you know, because we're big award people.
True.
Go ahead and grab your sparkling water and you can have a sip with us right now. Thanks for joining us in this incredible day, guys. All right, we'll catch you at lunch. We'll catch you next time, okay?